Hey, my name's Hector. I'm about to show you how I made the beat for I See a Moon and See a Meaning by Wicca Springs Eternal. I made this beat with Brody McKeegan, who is a friend of mine, who I'm in a group called Garden Avenue with. We made this beat several months ago on a loop that we worked on together, playing guitar and also playing kalimba. And I think there's also a Brody vocal sample in here somewhere. Yeah, I'm about to play the beat until this first verse and then break down all the different components of it. So here we go.
Hello and welcome to the garden.
The five boroughs unknown. Forget about it.
Okay, so basically, let's start with this guitar loop. Me and Brody, when Brody lived in New York, used to meet pretty frequently and record guitar together and make melodies and beats and such and such. And this was one that had been made after we already made a couple songs for the album that this ended up being on, called Full Moon Mystery Garden. And I remember making this melody together and thinking it probably wouldn't turn into a beat just because it was kind of strange. And I couldn't really think of any ideas for it as far as production. But here's how it sounds. It's really like mystic and mysterious. Kind of reminds me of a like a fantasy game or something of that nature. It has a kalimba that either me or Brody played. I can't remember who. And it definitely has Brody's vocals in here that were just processed a lot. And I think we both played different things on guitar on this one. So I just started with that. And I wanted the beat to sound like it was like a live drummer, but I just made the instrumentation sound really digital, I guess. I think Wicca said that he thought it sounded like a almost like a Gorillaz type beat or something like that. And I wanted to sound like that, but I also wanted to sound pretty bombastic, hence adding these live cymbals and these fills and those things. And yeah, so after this guitar, we get into these drums where I basically just have this kick and this snare on 2 and 4, the classic rock kind of beat. And then I have this guy down here, which is a cymatics fill. It sounds very silly. It doesn't sound like it would be something that would be in a Wicca Phase song, but I liked it and I was using these a lot at the time and it worked in the song. And it sounds like this. It's kind of goofy, but I think it sounds really good here. And then in this hook section, we have the whole loop going with the guitar, and then we have this live cymbal loop that's actually from Brody's drum kit that I will link in the description of this video. And then we have this bass happening and this hi-hat that's just doing straight eighth notes with the velocity turned down on every other one that gives it a bouncy kind of feel to it. One clap, pretty normal. And then the kick. Didn't really mix most of these that much. It's really just a lot of leveling. Yeah, there's very few tracks on this beat. Really the thing that makes it sound good is the bounce that is on it due to the volume of these cymbals and the movement of this kick and this bass. So play everything without the melody and then go piece by piece with it. So here we just have these hi-hats, as I talked about before. Just up and down with the volume, holding it down. And a very simple 2 and 4 snare. Kick, same as the intro. And then these live cymbals really add a lot of bounce. I don't know how Brody made these, but I use them fairly frequently in beats that are of this nature, and they just add so much body. So that's that. And then the bass on this is this Reese that is a really big as hell sample, and I just tuned it to C. And then I really just have it going in quarter notes for the whole song. And that's really all there is to the hook. And then on the end of that, we have this new fill. Again, it's super like EDM sounding and silly and goofy, and you would probably never think it'd be in a Wicca Face song, but I think it works out really well here. And then in this verse section, I pretty much just deconstructed the melody and took it down stem by stem. Then added more of the stems in to build it up. And then these pauses that I like to do. Almost all the drums in the verse are the same as the drums in the hook. The biggest difference, though, is that these live cymbals aren't in the verse, and the loop is also deconstructed. So even though it's pretty much all the same components with a couple things rearranged, it sounds so incredibly different, which I think is what Wicca really liked about this beat. And then moving into this section right after this verse, it's just like a little bridge that I didn't really have an intention for. I just thought there had to be like a drop-off point between this and the next hook. And it ended up sounding like this with just 2 of these stems. And then, yeah, we have the original cymatics fill over here, going back into the last hook. And it sounds like this. These fills add a lot at the very end of these sections. It gives it a lot of drive. It really sounds like it's a real drummer, just with a lot of different instrumentation. And then for the outro, it's just one of the stems of this guitar we played. So that's pretty much it. As I said before, I didn't really mix that much of this beat. Nothing crazy is going on here. At the very beginning, instead of tags, I put this Donnie Brasco sample, which is this gangster movie that I really like. It ties into all the Strictly Business shit that me and my friends do. And I got this Garden Avenue tag right here, which is the group that produced this Wicca Phase album, Full Moon Mystery Garden.
Hello and welcome to the garden.
The 5 boroughs, I'm known. Forget about it.
Pretty geeked that Donnie Brasco sample got put on the album. Pretty proud of myself for that one. I think that's it for this. I think I'm gonna keep doing these beat breakdown videos because they're fun to make and it's good to practice getting better at explaining things. And yeah, I'm gonna link some guitar loops that I've made in the past that you can buy in the description, and about to link Brody's drum kit that you can also buy in the description of this video. And that's that. I hope everyone has a good day, and yeah.